Red potatoes, 5-pound bag, only $4.99. Fresh Purdue chicken thighs with drumsticks, only $1.99 per pound. Heinz ketchup, 20-ounce squeeze bottle, only $3.49. All sizes, boys and girls Huggies pull-ups, only $15.99. Kellogg's Corn Pop cereal, 12.5-ounce box, just $5.79. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Tuesday, November the 7th, 2017. I'm Diane Brewer, and thank you for joining us tonight. Damning allegations made against law firm Appleby and reports on information contained in the so-called Paradise Papers. Information which suggests Appleby may have single-handedly put Bermuda's reputation as a compliant offshore financial jurisdiction at risk. Gary Moreno brings us the very latest.
Reports by the International Consortium of Investigative Journalists, based on information contained in the 13 million documents which make up the Paradise Papers, suggest, despite screening controls, internal Appleby records provide details of clients who entered the system unnoticed, including those suspected of corruption. Between 2005 and 2015, more than a dozen internal and regulatory examinations of Appleby's offices found flaws. The report states that in 2015, Appleby reportedly set aside $500,000 for a fine imposed by Bermuda's regulators, which was said to have been later settled in secret. The ICIJ points out when the Bermuda Monetary Authority audited an Appleby subsidiary in October 2014, it found key or highly significant weaknesses in 9 areas. Nearly half, 46% of the files reviewed by the agency, are said to have lacked information on the origin of money Appleby managed for its clients. There was said to have been no evidence that Appleby identified money laundering and terrorism financing risks, the agency said, and the firm had not adopted the recommendations from previous audits. According to the report, these omissions have heightened the authority's concern about the firm's regulatory compliance and control environment. In October 2015, an Appleby director disclosed in a confidential document to government regulators in the BVI that the Bermuda office had settled a fine imposed by Bermuda regulators after it conceded it had failed to follow up on many of the agency's recommendations for fixing the weaknesses in its anti-money laundering net. The note referred to indicates Bermuda's regulators agreed to keep the matter entirely private. ICIJ says a spokesperson for the Bermuda Monetary Authority would neither confirm nor deny enforcement decisions. The report extensively highlights Robert Woods, who in early 2006 began working in Appleby's Cayman Islands office, which allegedly had more than 600 clients on its books whose records were labeled non-compliant, meaning that the firm had no current IDs, contact information, or other particulars needed to make sure it wasn't setting up shell companies and other structures for criminals or corrupt politicians. According to the ICIJ, 5 years later, Woods became Director of Compliance at Appleby. The ICIJ quotes the presentation notes also included a line which read, quote, "Some of the crap we accept is amazing, totally amazing," unquote. The report goes on that a leak of almost 7 million confidential records reveals how Appleby has sometimes failed to keep out questionable clients. We've reached out to Appleby for comment on these claims, but were instead referred to their online statement, which reads in part, while there were no allegations of any wrongdoing on the part of Appleby, there were some allegations of perceived failings in our business practice standards. Operating in highly regulated jurisdictions, we face an ever-increasing level of compliance obligations. Our overriding objective is to have the procedures and policies to ensure that we have 100% compliance with our obligations. Now, we sought answers to specific questions as to why Appleby did not heed the warnings and concerns of its Director of Compliance, Mr. Woods, whether the company was concerned that it may in fact have put the island's international reputation at risk, and whether it had now been in compliance with regulations required to provide the services which it does. We are yet to hear back from them. Further, a request to speak with Mr. Tim Ferries, Appleby's Bermuda office managing partner, also met with no response. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Meantime, further revelations about the tax affairs of the rich and famous dominates news headlines around the world, but the release of confidential documents, many taken from a company founded in Bermuda, continues to raise fears the island's reputation as a financial center could be damaged. Hal Davies reports.
International business is a vital part of Bermuda's economy, accounting for 28% of the island's entire GDP in 2015. One of the key parts of IB is the business activities sector, providing, among other things, legal services, accounting and audit activities. Appleby is one firm providing such services. But Bermuda is now under the spotlight following the release of hacked information from the company. So is there a danger the island could lose its reputation as a good place for international business?
I think that's all we have. Bermuda prides itself on being a squeaky clean offshore jurisdiction. And when something like this happens, it tarnishes the reputation. And again, that's pretty much everything that Bermuda has.
Simmons cites the example of Nike. From 2005 to 2014, the shoe company registered its intellectual property rights for its sneaker brands in Bermuda. Nike's European operations were then charged for the use of those brands, allowing the company to legally shift profits away from Europe and avoid taxes there. From 2010 to 2012, payments of almost $4 billion were made to the Bermudian operation, despite Nike not having an office or staff on the island.
It's coming to light that there's something untoward going on, and Bermudians should be concerned, again, because that's going to could possibly damage our reputation and scare away legitimate business.
In Brussels, meanwhile, European finance ministers have been meeting today to discuss possible sanctions against tax havens. They may well include Bermuda and may come into force after next month's meeting of European finance ministers.
We also discuss the EU blacklist for non-cooperative tax jurisdictions. The work on this list is ongoing as planned, and we call for an agreement on the list at the December ECOFIN.
But the story is not just one of big companies using small islands like Bermuda to minimize their tax bills. After all, in 2014, Nike transferred its trademarks from the island. They went to the Netherlands, a key EU member, and a new Dutch subsidiary, Nike Innovate CV. Its earnings have continued to grow, reaching more than $12 billion earlier this year, all taxed under a complex partnership agreement at 2% or less. A far cry from the rate for individuals in Holland, where income tax rates begin at more than 36%.
Stay with us. More news in tonight's AccuWeather forecast after the break.
Hey, Smokey, let's get lunch from the Marketplace Food Court.
You know what? That sounds good.
They have oxtails, pumpkin, curried lamb, lemon chicken, sweet and sour ribs, vegetable stir-fry, and the variety goes on.
Their chefs are good. They'll set you right up with all the good carbons.
And don't forget the special dishes from the islands.
It doesn't matter. No matter what you feel like eating, Marketplace will have it.
You know, it's quick, it's quality, and at prices you can count on.
Visit us 7 days a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner made for you daily at the Hamilton Marketplace Food Court.
Previously at Mailboxes U.S. Express.
Mailboxes Unlimited gives you an address in New Jersey for just $20 a year, and we'll ship your stuff from there to here and save you over 80% on the shipping. Join the over 11,000 people that are already members of Mailboxes U.S. Express. We are the cheapest and the fastest way to ship stuff from there to here. Excuse me while I answer my phone.
My name is Steve Thompson, and I approve of this message.
Mailboxes U.S. Express. Sign up today.
Welcome to Furniture Walk. At Furniture Walk, we have one of the island's widest selections of top brand home furnishings, including Stearns & Foster, Craftmaster, Natuzzi, Universal, Bassett, and many more. Whether you're freshening up your living room or remodeling your entire home, we have all the brands and top quality furnishings you'll need. We also offer in-house financing. Can't find what you're looking for in store? No problem. We can special order it for you. Our website has an even larger selection of the world's best furniture. Stop by our Paget store and we'll be happy to help you get on your way to finding the perfect selection for your home or office. Furniture Walk, furnishing Bermuda's homes for over 30 years.
Welcome back. Well, government is eyeing a change of law during this legislative session that would finally end the controversial practice of military conscription. The announcement coming today from Wayne Keynes, the National Security Minister, in keeping with the Progressive Labour Party's election pledge to end the practice. The issue was examined under the former One Bermuda Alliance. However, nothing was done. Mr. Keynes, today standing alongside Regiment Commanding Officer David Curley, looked to the regiment's future without conscription.
This government is intent on keeping its promises and delivering on them to the people of Bermuda. In 2015, the previous administration amended the 1965 Defense Acts, principally to revise the regiment's disciplinary regime. The 2015 amendments include, number one, removing potentially confusing gender-based terminology. Two, removing references to the repealed UK Army Act of 1955. 3, giving all those charged with military offences the right to elect trial in the magistrate's court. 4, regularizing fines and punishments to be imposed during disciplinary hearings. And the 2015 amendments to the Defense Act continue to provide a means of conscription. In particular, Section 4 of the Act provided that when the regiment was raised by voluntary enlistment, but where enlistment proved inadequate for maintaining the numbers, then it was the policy to use conscription. For the sake of good order, it is necessary to bring the 2015 amendments into force first, and thereafter to amend the Act to finally end conscription. This will provide the regiment with the opportunity to effect a full transition to an all-volunteer force. The Attorney General's chambers will shortly be requested to draft the necessary amendments, and I expect to bring the amendments to the House directly in the new year.
And the minister lending his backing to the regiment's effort to recruit volunteers and take advantage of opportunities being offered. And in tourism-related news, the island continues to see gains in visitor air arrivals and increases in the amount of money visitors are spending here. That was revealed today by the Bermuda Tourism Authority in unveiling the third quarter visitor arrivals. Tarai Trott was there and reports the island took a bump in September due to reasons beyond our control.
For the third quarter ending in August, the island experienced its 7th consecutive quarter of growth in leisure air visitors.
Now, we like to focus on value. We know that the number everybody likes to look at is volume. Well, actually, by that metric, tourism is also up in the third quarter. In the third quarter, we were up by 6%.
But tourism chiefs more keen to point out the value of visitors, which increased by a larger margin.
Although everybody likes to talk about volume, we like to lead on value. From a value perspective, Q3 was a great month. A great quarter. So we finished the quarter with spending by leisure air visitors up by 15%, which is a really phenomenal achievement in what is always the biggest quarter of the year. So that makes 7 consecutive quarters of growth in tourism.
Another major focus of the Bermuda Tourism Authority is younger visitors.
In the third quarter, 90% of our growth in visitors came from visitors under 45. So these are visitors that are a new generation of first-time visitors to Bermuda. And it's fantastic to see that they continue to come.
The month of September was more challenging, however, with it being the only monthly decline since December 2015. This time it was down 4%. September was also difficult for tourism due to Hurricanes Irma and Maria in the Caribbean. While the hurricanes, which ravaged Barbuda and others, never came near Bermuda, geography confusion by some overseas guests led to cancellations here.
I think just about everyone in Bermuda woke up at some point in September to a text message saying, "Are you all right?" That was because we had the New York Times, the BBC, and NBC News all mix up Bermuda and Barbuda. And the ramifications of that are pretty quick and immediate. People cancel. We also saw Bermuda being put in the storm path of the National Weather Center in the U.S. Consistently. So there were several hurricane warnings issued for Bermuda. Really interestingly, I think when we look at September of this year, when we were not hit by a hurricane, and compare it to October of last year when we were, we saw more cancellations this September because of the media confusion.
Tourism officials frantically reached out to overseas media and the U.S. National Weather Service, but the damage was already done.
If you visit any of our media channels today, you'll find a Bermuda is open message, which explains that we were not in the hurricane's path.
And turning to weather news, another sunny day in store for our Wednesday with some showers later in the week. Here's the latest from AccuWeather headquarters.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
Good evening. Hopefully you had a nice day here today in Bermuda. This forecast is brought to you by the BF&M Insurance Group, and we do have a bit of a front to the north of us. Here it is. So for today, things are pretty nice. It'll stay like that tonight, but we could see a very brief shower in places coming up maybe tomorrow. Nothing major, just a couple sprinkles, and then that front, it's eventually going to push to the south, and we will see some more showers over the next couple of days. So taking a look at what's going on right now, not bad. Temperature across the island right at 74 degrees. Humidity 76%. Winds out of the northwest from 4 to 8 knots. Water temperature 77 degrees, so still nice and warm. And look at those waves inside the reef. Hardly even in existence. 0 to 1 foot and outside 2 to 4 feet. So we're seeing some very nice calm conditions. Tonight it should stay dry, partly cloudy conditions. Temperature right at 70 degrees for our low. Tomorrow again, it's going to be pretty nice. Mostly sunny with some clouds. We could see a brief shower in places as that front dips down just a little bit closer to us. A high temperature of 77 degrees. Now our first tide at 10:59 p.m. tonight, and then the second one at 11:30 in the morning on Wednesday. If you're traveling, well, guess what? We do have some travel forecasts for you. Toronto, a nice sunny day, a bit on the cool side, 46 degrees. New York, 51 with some clouds. Boston, 48 degrees. In Atlanta, we are going to see some showers there, 64 degrees. And in Miami, staying dry, 86. London, 50 degrees with some clouds. Now here in the Caribbean, Jamaica, still nice and warm at 89 degrees. Could see some thunderstorms pop up later in the afternoon. Barbados, 88 degrees. In Trinidad, 86. Again, with some showers, maybe even a pop-up thunderstorm toward those evening hours. So here we are Thursday. Could see a very brief light shower. The wettest days of the week are going to be Friday and Saturday, but when I say the wettest days, I just mean a couple of showers. We're not going to see any kind of steady rain here, and of course that is because of that front that's going to be dipping down. So we'll see some more cloud coverage, probably more clouds than sun, and frequent showers throughout the day, Friday and Saturday. Make sure you have your umbrellas. Sunday, some leftover showers, but it's going to be mostly sunny. A lot more sunshine out there on Sunday. Our temperatures right around 77, dropping down to 76, 75 degrees toward the weekend. Stay tuned to Ocean 89, Power 95, and Inspire 105 for all your latest news and weather.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Fall into savings all month long. Check out the great deals throughout our website. We have everything to create the living room of your dreams. Browse through our site to see the large selection in all price ranges. Entertain guests with the perfect dining set. We have something for all tastes and styles. Imagine falling asleep in your new bedroom. We have just what you're looking for. Don't wait. Call or stop in today and fall into savings all month long.
Visit Bermuda's #1 furniture store today. Big Savings Zone, Southside and Davids.
Christmas in Bermuda is a special time for most of us. Unfortunately, for some families in Bermuda, there is no warm Christmas. This year, many families will be in need. It's the 29th anniversary of the Lions Clubs of Bermuda and the Marketplace helping share the Christmas spirit, so let's help take care of each other. Shop at any Marketplace, shopping center, Modern Mart, or A1 stores and purchase extra tins and non-perishable items. Once you have purchased these items, place your food donations into Santa's bin located at the front of the store. The Lions Clubs will collect your food contributions and assemble them into hampers to be delivered to the families in need around the island. Christmas comes once a year. Help make it a special time for every family in Bermuda. Sponsored in part by the Bermuda Broadcasting Company and the Royal Gazette.
And turning to sports, Bermuda boxers return home from training camp. Our women's hockey team are tied for second in qualifiers, and Bermuda World Rugby Classic defending champions bounced out of the tournament. Earl Basden has the details and much more in tonight's sports package.
It was a festive atmosphere at the LF Wade International Airport earlier today when Nikki Bascom, Andre Lamb, and coach Alan Forte-Rigo arrived back home from a training camp in preparations for undefeated fight night with Fairmont Southampton come Saturday night. Bascom tells us what he has been working on to prepare for the fight.
Basically, I was just working on my strengths, just being me in training camp and adding some new things. And yeah, got any good work, good sparring, yeah. So.
Lamb tells us about his strategy for the fight.
You can expect to see fireworks. I'm coming to bring my A game. You know, I got a lot of energy, so I'm coming to work. So hopefully he's up to the task, and we can have a good show. You know what I'm saying?
Rigo was really pleased with this particular trip.
This was one of the best camps I had. We had good quality sparring, good workouts. The guys starting 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Well, let's put it like this. I planned to work, and now I know I'm more than capable of working the plan.
Minister of Sports Zane De Silva was just one of a few MPs to show their support for the boxers.
We want to see Nikki obviously be successful. I have no doubt that under the guidance and under the whip of this man right here, that he will do nothing but his best.
Tonight's sports is brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmont Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
Bermuda's second match of the CAC hockey qualifier saw Bermuda pick up a 4-0 win over Guatemala. Bermuda took control of the game and went ahead in the 12th minute through a strike from Jasmine Patterson. Patterson found herself on the end of her own missed penalty stroke and took her second chance graciously. Bermuda doubled the lead in the 39th minute through Selena Witter. There was 2 quick goals in the 50th and 51st minutes off the sticks of Keisha Robinson and Krista Smith. Bermuda now joins Guyana in second position on 4 points, but trailed the Guyanese with an inferior goal difference. Bermuda captain Lakay Tavares was happy with the team's overall performance.
It was a very important game for us. Yesterday we did start off a bit slow. There was a lot of anxiety and nerves. We were a little disorganized. A lot of our players are very young, and this is the first international competition, so it was a lot of getting used to the pitch and playing together as a team. But I think the outcome today shows that we're willing to work hard and compete and follow through and get results.
Bermuda's junior cyclists returned to the LF Wade International Airport last evening with 5 medals after competing in the Junior Caribbean Cycling Championships. Double gold medal winner Matthew Oliveira described the conditions in Barbados.
The most challenging part was the weather conditions. As an islander, I should be used to it, but it was hotter than I expected. It was felt like 95 degrees, and the humidity was feeling worse than Bermuda is. That's hard to pass.
It was Monday, June 26, 2017. Peter Berlin and Emirates Team New Zealand won the 35th America's Cup, defeating Oracle Team USA on the waters of the Great Sound. Last night, Monday, November 6, after performing the haka, which New Zealand sports teams perform before their international matches, they would then run the USA team off the pitch, much like they did to USA in sailing. Team New Zealand defeated USA 31-13. In the nightcap, Italy used unleashed a strong first-half performance to defeat the defending World Rugby Classic champions, South Africa, 31-17. Italy jumped out to a 28-0 lead in the first half before South Africa pulled a try back. Italy would get tries from Andrea Barberari, Romero Paz, Juan Sebastian Francisco, and a penalty try. It also went along with 4 conversions from Rima Wakaroro, while Tanderi Shavanga would score the lone first-half try for South Africa. In the second half, South Africa would outscore Italy 12-3, but the hole was way too deep for them to pull out of. Atlantic University Sports announced the 2017 Men's Soccer All-Stars and Major Award winners as selected by the Conference 10 head coaches. Acadia's Ryan Paris was named to the first team All-Star as a midfielder. Delray Rollins was back in action for the Sydney Cricket Club in the Premier League 2020 as they took on Renwick Petersham. Petersham won the toss and sent Sydney to bat. Sydney would score 146 for 9 in their allotted 20 overs, with opener Al Scott their top scorer with 52, while Rollins scored 12 from 8 deliveries, hitting 1-4 and 1-6. In reply, Petersham was bowled out for 82, with C. Thompson, the lead bowler for Sydney, with figures of 4 overs, 6 for 20, while Rollins bowled 4 overs, 1 for 9.
Tonight's sports has been brought to you by the all-new Boundary at Fairmount, Southampton, the West End's only sports bar. Catch all the action and enjoy smoked to perfection barbecue, beer, and other pub favorites. It's game on at Boundary.
I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
Save $1.50 on all varieties of Pretty Lady grapes, only $3.99 per pound. Save half price on fresh pork shoulder roast, only $2.39 per pound. ShopRite cream of chicken or chicken noodle soup, 10.5-ounce tin, just $1.09. Mark-out toilet tissue 4-pack, just $4.19. Yoplait yogurt, 6-ounce tub, only $1.09. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
Reporting live from Extreme Entertainment Center, I'm just receiving confirmation that the Undefeated boxing event scheduled for November the 11th at the Fairmont Southampton Hotel is now officially sold out. But not to worry, we have pay-per-view just for you. We'll be streaming online to the world. Log on now to www.undefeated.live. Yes, that's correct, www.undefeated.live. Watch it on your iPhone, Android, Smart TV, tablet. Tell your family, tell your friends. It's live from the Fairmont Southampton Hotel on November the 11th. Showtime, 8 p.m. Subscribe today and receive unlimited access to the fighters, the live weigh-in, exclusive interviews, and promotional models. This event will be epic.
Undefeated, November 11th. Trust me.
Hi, I'm Charles Webb, inviting you to join me on Monday nights at 8 for Season 2 of Inside Bermuda Homes, a program showing how Bermuda lives. That's Monday nights at 8 o'clock on ZBM TV 9 for Inside Bermuda Homes.
In health news, why last year's flu vaccine didn't work as well as expected, and a possible breakthrough in treating glaucoma. Laura Podesta has some of the day's top health stories.
A team of scientists in Berkeley, California and Toronto has discovered a potential treatment for glaucoma. They've identified a molecule that protects nerves in the eye and can prevent damage. Researchers are getting a better understanding of why high-protein diets work. They've discovered an amino acid that is produced when protein is digested, which can suppress appetite. And a virus mutation is responsible for making last year's flu vaccine less effective. Researchers at the University of Pennsylvania School of Medicine say the H3N2 strain left the vaccine only 20 to 30% effective. Experts still strongly recommend getting a shot every year. That's a look at some of the day's top health stories. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
And that's our newscast for tonight. I'm Diane Brewer. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Good night.